George, thanks for joining us. It's been one hell of a season. How have you found your first season as captain of the Reds?
Yeah, enjoyable, like I've said before in previous interviews, it's been an easy group to be captain of for the first time for myself. Great bunch of lads, they've made it really easy for me. So I've really enjoyed it.
What have you learned most about yourself since your first, having played your first season as a captain of the club?
I think I've not so much learned so much about myself, but more about the responsibilities of the role of being captain. You don't kind of see it when you're not captain until you are the captain. What a captain, the responsibilities that he has off the pitch. I don't really feel like I've changed. I'm not the type of person that would change just to become captain. And I think the lads that have played with me would tell you the same. I'm just the same kind of guy. It's been a good learning curve, just for life in general, really, to sort of have that responsibility within a dressing room.
Yeah, we've got quite a young squad, haven't we? So I suppose it's been important for you to sort of help guide the new younger players up, and we've seen lots of new additions over the summer, just sort of help settle them in as well. Yeah,
like I just said, it's been a really easy group to be captain of because it's such a great bunch of lads, from the young lads all the way through to some of the lads that are more senior than myself even. I can't really say enough good things about the lads. I try to help as much as I can with some of the young lads, and I'd like to think that they appreciate that, the ones that I have helped. It's been an enjoyable season.
Yeah, I suppose as part of your role as captain, you're sort of working more closely with John and the likes of Lee and young Bully, helping out with the coaching as well. How's it been sort of getting closer to them and sort of helping? Have they helped you adapt into that captain role as well? Yeah,
not to leave the staff out as well. The staff have been brilliant for me in adapting to that role, made it easy for me in that respect as well. Of course, you're sort of that bridge between the players and the manager. So that's definitely a role that I've had to sort of adjust to, and you probably speak to the gaffer as captain more so than anyone else in the team. Having that balance between talking to the gaffer and then with the boys as well, that's another sort of role you've got to adjust to as captain. Yeah,
and obviously we spoke to the gaffer this season, and then it's almost like we've got so many leaders on the pitch. Obviously you as the front man, as the captain, but we've got the likes of Tony Craig slotting in the back line with you as well. I can imagine it's been really nice to have sort of those other sort of leader characters around you as well at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that the more captain kind of characters you've got in your team, the better chance you've got. Everyone needs to step up on match day and be a captain. So we've got plenty of them, and like you said, Tony, he's played hundreds of games. He's more senior than I am. Had a great career. He's very vocal kind of character in the dressing room. I'm a little bit more reserved, if you like. I'm not sort of I'm a bit more of an introvert kind of thing, but Tony's obviously, he's a really good voice, and that rubs off well on the lads before we go out to a game and that. Yeah,
and obviously we've seen you a lot at right back this year. Moving on to sort of personal note, how would you sum up your season, just on a personal note?
Again, enjoyable. There's been some really good moments. There's been some memorable ones that has been a shame that the fans have not been able to see. Although we came up short, and we are disappointed as a group that we didn't make the playoffs and push closer for promotion, because within our dressing room we genuinely felt like we had a good chance at it. So we are disappointed, but there has been some really good moments. There's been some good away wins. The Leeds game. Yeah, for myself, it's for most of my career I've always sort of chopped and changed from right back and midfield and stuff like that. So that's nothing really new to me. It's been nice that's been my best return in terms of goals this season. So that was nice to get on the score sheet more times than what I usually do. All round, nothing but good things to say about the group and the season. We are disappointed, but it's been an enjoyable one for sure.
You obviously mentioned those goals, perhaps seeing you on the score sheet more than we're used to, but a few absolute screamers in there. I think you're going to finish as our third top goal scorer, so that's pretty incredible from right back.
Yeah. Like I said, it's always nice to score goals or assist goals. Sort of in my sort of position, you don't go out there thinking of that too much, but it's been nice that when an opportunities have come my way, I've tucked them away or spanked them in.
Yeah, which one of them was your favourite, would you say? Oldham away was pretty special, but Oldham away, that was a pretty good hit.
Yeah, in terms of best goal, I think the Oldham goal, my first goal of the season. that was probably my best goal. My most enjoyable one was probably Bolton, because you know, we were on a good run. I'd only just come back from my broken arm. I think that was only my second game back from that. We were starting to really push up the table. Obviously going to Bolton, I think it was snowing before the game. You sort of like we was up for it kind of thing, and to get a winner in that was the best feeling, if you like. I think that was the most important at that time as well. So that was a nice goal, yeah.
Yeah, you've had to fight. You obviously mentioned there your broken arm. You've had to fight back from a few injuries this year. I suppose a lot of people won't actually realise what happened with that. You know, broken arm. Wasn't it you collided with Sam Matthews off of like sort of, he went up for a header, you went up for a header, and then sort of run into each other?
Yeah. It was a strange one, yeah. It was pretty innocuous. I just went up for a header, and as I landed, I've just smacked Sam in the head. I just heard it. It was a loud noise. I think most of the people in the stand heard it, obviously with no crowd. Yeah, I knew I'd broke it straight away, and Harry sort of ran on. I just said, yeah, I think I broke my arm. So that was disappointing, because at that time we was beating Cambridge 2-1. I think we'd won a couple before that, and we were starting to push up the table at that point early on in the season. We was getting into our groove. So to then miss 2 months straight after that was disappointing. But you know, it all held up well, and I was back by Christmas sort of time. So yeah, these things happen.
And obviously you touched on that Oldham game with your goal. That was our first away win in over a year, and obviously you're one of the more longer serving players at the club. What do you think, did anything change from last year, or was it just, did like no fans help maybe because you had no home fans on your back at those away games? Because we've recorded some incredible away performances this year with some really good victories and draws.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. That just kind of happens in football, doesn't it? Like we went on an incredible home run, and then all of a sudden we lost. Was it like 2 or 3 in a row? I think that's just football. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut and you can't get out of it. And I think that's what we were in. I think obviously this season we had a better team as well. So I think that always helps. We had a better team and we was better equipped to go away and get results. I think we had a more of a steely mentality this season than we have done in the last 2 seasons that I've been here. So yeah, I just think all of that mixed together, a little bit of luck, a couple of good goals, and we started to pick up some better results.
You mentioned earlier there was a lot of belief in the team, especially towards the latter stage of the season. Was that something that the lads picked up quite quickly at the beginning of the season? They're sort of like, yeah, we've got a really good chance of this, we've got a really good chance to put in a great run in and see where we end up by the end of it?
Yeah, I think to be honest, the first game, if you can remember the first game, Port Vale, we were really poor on the day, and you're thinking, is this going to be sort of like another long season? But to be fair, like the gaffer recruited really well. The team started to gel pretty much within the next few weeks after that. We picked up a couple of wins, which was important for our confidence, and we kind of just went from strength to strength. Just over the full season, we just couldn't quite keep consistency, especially in the second half of the season. We just couldn't quite keep the levels, and we had a few injuries and stuff like that. But you know, it's no excuses. A lot of teams have injuries, and we just fell short really. But I think, you know, it was a really enjoyable, good group of players to be involved with. We're all gutted that we couldn't, you know, achieve something like that. But you know, we had the Leeds game, the cup run, plenty of good performances. We've got some really good players. Hopefully we can keep the team together for next season. I do genuinely think if we can keep this squad together, add a couple more to strengthen us up, I think we'll have a real good go at it next season.
Yeah, we had some real good league performances this year. What would you say is your favourite, if you could pick one out of just the league games?
If I'm thinking best performance, might have been Tranmere at home on the Tuesday night, and also the Cambridge game where I broke my arm. I think them 2 games were back-to-back Tuesday, Saturday, and I think that we were really firing in them 2 games. Like, we really took it to both of them teams, really passing the ball well. I think the pitches were still quite nice at that point, and I thought at that point, that's when I thought, like, we've got a hell of a chance. Like, we've got a great team this season. So I think them 2 games back to back, I think, yeah, that we were on fire them 2 games.
Yeah, we've had some properly rememberable performances, and I think that there was a week in there where we beat Leeds, and then the week before that we travelled to Forest Green on the Tuesday night. You know, we've never beat Forest Green away in the, you know, since we've been in the Football League, and to go there and sort of turn up, not necessarily underdogs, but you would favour the home side, and we turned them over 2-1, and it was just a great team performance. I think you were in midfield that night. Yeah,
that was my first game back. Forest Green, I think I only played just over 50 minutes. I was blowing. But yeah, touching on that little run there, the sort of Forest Green, Bolton and the Leeds, that was obviously a good little spell, and I think there was a few good results prior to that. They were good performances as well, but in different ways. I think we really fought for them victories, which you have to do as a team. You have to be able to fight for your 3 points. You don't have to be able to take it to teams and dominate teams, possession and chances, and like the Tranmere game where we won 4-0. So they're the ones that are more enjoyable, but at the same time, the ones where you go away and grind them out, 1-0 at Bolton, 2-1 at Forest Green, they're the ones that propel you up the league.
Yeah, that Bolton one, that was a really special day. Like you said, it was snowing before. You could tell all the lads were up for it, just before the game. And obviously yourself on the score sheet, a nice little move. But that was just one hell of a day. And I think that's when a lot of people, us behind the scenes, we've been sort of the only fans in the stadium, really. Us and the media, the directors, and that's the sort of point where we thought we've got one hell of a team here. It's not every day you go up to Bolton away in an empty stadium, former Premier League side, and you come away with a 1-0 victory.
Yeah. Well, I say that we was up for the game before the game. It's easy to say that now because we won it, but we probably weren't. Looking at the snow, thinking, "Oh, is this going to get called off?" But no, it was a great performance. Like you said, the only fans we have had as you guys and the office staff travelling everywhere. So that's been great. It's been great to see you guys come and we obviously try and give you the best performances we can and give you enjoyable wins that you can sort of look back on, and they're good moments for everyone. You don't want to come and watch a team that's not doing well, so we want to do well for you, the fans that are watching at home, and we hope that it's been tough times for everyone during this pandemic, and we hope that we've at least give some entertaining performances this season for the fans to watch at home, and hopefully, like I said, we can keep the majority of the squad together next season and kick on next season and bring some more of their moments next season when everyone's in the house.
Yeah, I'm sure plenty of fans have enjoyed a lot of performances this year. It's quite incredible when you look at our record against the sort of top six, the teams fighting now in the final few days for promotion. It's been quite incredible, our record against them. We beat Forest Green, done the double over Tranmere. We've got the potential to do the double over Bolton on Saturday. It's a really good record against those top teams.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're so disappointed that we've come up short because, no disrespect to some of the teams that are below us, but they're the games that you've got to... you've got to pick up the points in them games as well. And unfortunately, too many of the teams around the bottom have took points off us, deservedly in them games or undeservedly at the end of the day. We've had games where we should have took chances and didn't, and ultimately, when it all comes together at the end of the season, you deserve to be where you are, and that's where we are. But we are. That's why we look back and we think if we could just go back to a couple of them matches, a couple more wins, we'd be there or thereabouts.
We were on one hell of a run, and then obviously I think it was late January sort of time we did get that COVID outbreak at the club, and that sort of took us off the tracks a little bit. How much as a player did that affect the group? Obviously we know John's spoken a lot about it and how much of an effect that had. We going straight into the Bournemouth game straight after as well.
Yeah, I suppose it's hard to tell really. It's hard to tell whether that was why or why it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, when you're on a run like that, you don't really want things like that happening. You don't really want breaks. You just want to keep going into every game with that same momentum as what you had. So I suppose it did break our momentum a little bit. But again, we don't want to make excuses because there was other teams that had their COVID outbreaks and were shut down for 10 days, 2 weeks, and well, maybe it was because them teams also, I think Carlisle, they came back and they couldn't win a game either. So maybe it was. I don't know. I don't tend to think it was, but it potentially could have been. It definitely wasn't a positive thing for us to happen at that time, but we could have still recovered from that and gone on to get into the playoffs and beyond. But we don't want to make excuses. It is what it is, and you have to deal with it.
Whilst it has been a shame that obviously nobody's in the stands, we've made some pretty incredible memories for people to watch at home. Obviously we're going to touch on the FA Cup run now. The first round of Torquay, you weren't actually involved. No. I'm sure you were watching at home, and what was that like watching as a captain from home?
I was watching it at home. It was crazy. I had my father-in-law around. I think we was having a couple of Coronas watching the game kind of thing, and I think I was nipping out to the kitchen, and then he's shouting through, "You've scored again," and all that sort of stuff. I was thinking, what is going on? So I'm in and out, and it was amazing. And then in the group chat, I'm texting the boys in group chat after great result and stuff like that. So missed a good game there, and then missed a good game at Wimbledon in the second round. So I was just there for the glory against Leeds. I was just there for the televised game against Leeds. But the boys done brilliant in them first two to set up the Leeds tie. Both tough games. Torquay away are doing really well in the conference. Wimbledon was a tough place to go. You know, they've got their new stadium there. So that's 2 great results, and then obviously the Leeds game.
Yeah, and obviously that Torquay game, I think we spoke to quite a few of the lads after that, and there was a mixed emotions. A lot of them were like, I hate playing in a game like that, it was too stressful, you know. It was. Were you sitting at home going, yeah, I want to be involved in that, or were you sort of quite happy that you were on the sidelines?
I want to be involved. Yeah, I don't mind. I want to be involved in that. You know, they're memories at the end of the day. That'll be memories for them boys that played in that game, especially some of them that are young. Like that, that's a good day out. Like that's a good day at the office. 6-5 away at Torquay. That's enjoyable. That's the FA Cup. That's what we all dreamed of doing when we were kids, like playing in crazy games like that. So, yeah, I'm all for them games.
And then we're going to have to talk about that Leeds game. As captain of the side, what were the emotions sort of running through your head when Nick Cerullo put that first goal in? And was that the moment there was real belief, or was there always belief before?
Yeah, I suppose it does take you by surprise a little bit. Great goal from Nick. Unbelievable moment for him in his career. We were in the game. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it didn't ever feel like we were in too much danger. I think I was playing right back that day. It didn't feel like we were in too much danger, which was, we probably was expecting to be in more danger than what we were. So I think we just took it in our stride on the day. Coupled with Leeds maybe not turning up a little bit, but they had plenty of good players on the pitch that's still playing the Premier League week in, week out. It's not like they came with a really weakened squad. You see them playing, a lot of them playing on a Saturday in the Premier League. So yeah, I suppose it was a bit of a shock when Nick put that in, but they just after that the goals just seemed to, it weren't a surprise by then. It was like another one, and then you think, Christ, like what an amazing day.
Yeah, we were sitting there at half time, so it got to 0-0, and we're well in this, you know. We get the first goal here. We could go on and win this. What was John's message at half time? Was it sort of something similar?
Yeah, I think he was. I can't remember. Obviously, there's so many team talks throughout the season, half times and stuff. But yeah, he would have. I remember that the pre-match. You know, he was just telling us to believe in ourselves. Go out. You got nothing to lose. You know, which is right. And it was the same message I would have thought at half time. Like, we had a great first half, really solid. You know, like didn't really look like conceding any goals. And that's what you have to do in them games. You have to just stay in the game. And you've always got a chance. And you know, Nick stepped up, chinked past a couple of players, smashed one in, and then Nadders, and then Tunney, and then that's it, done.
I suppose that's a memory that's going to live on long in your memory, especially as captain. You know, you were the captain of the side that recorded that. Probably what the best. I know John's described it as the best game the club's ever had, and you would probably have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There might be some fans that might have seen a better result than that, or a better day, but it'd definitely be up there, I would imagine. It was incredible win. You know, loads of people coming through on social media, like really happy for you, all your friends and stuff like that. So, you know, for lads at our level in League Two, moments like that, you have to savour them. You know, coming here, we're all spraying beer around and stuff like. That's what it's all about. That's the moments that you want to have when you retire. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a few more of them.
Yeah, it's just been a really special group this year, and I suppose, as on your behalf, how nice has it been working with such a tight-knit bunch of lads? We come to train every week, we see how close the group is. Yeah,
like I said at the start of the interview, I couldn't have asked to have a better bunch of lads to sort of have my first season as a captain. Great bunch of lads, such a tight-knit bunch of boys. There's been some laughs, you know, there's ups and downs, but you work through all the ups and downs together, kind of thing, you know. It's been brilliant. Yeah, love them.
I suppose the only negative this season, we have touched on it briefly, but the lack of fans. How hard has it been to adapt to that over the course of the season?
Yeah, it's not the same. I think, you know, every footballer will tell you that it's not the same. We can't wait to have the fans back. You know, we've kind of got used to it, but at the same time, you wouldn't want to get too used to it, because hopefully next season, first game of the season, like there'll be fans back through the door, and the games are just so much better, so much more exciting. You know, otherwise they do feel like a bit of a pre-season game at times, and that's why I think you've seen so many strange results at all levels, because, you know, there's no fans to give the home advantage, or even when you're away and you're digging in, like all them little things that come together to help the lads on the pitch haven't been there. So, you know, I think every team, every set of fans just can't wait for it to be back, hopefully next season.
Yeah, we had those 2 games. Luckily at home, so we had good support for those 2 games that fans were allowed back. So And it was quite obvious the boost that sort of gave. We put an incredible performance against Barrow in that game 4-2. So it's obvious how much of an impact the fans do have on football.
Yeah, 100%. I think I was still injured with my broken arm then, but I was at the Barrow game. It was class. That's what you want. You want fans celebrating. You want to celebrate your goals with the fans. You want to celebrate the victories with the fans. That's what it's all about. That's that connection that the players and the fans have that makes a football club tick.
John and Lee's first full season in charge. How has it been? Obviously, we spoke about that at the start of the interview, but how they found it and sort of how you found it as well working with them. And it's obvious the impact they've had as soon as they got their hands on the lads for a full season. We've had a right go at it. Yeah,
like I said at the start of the interview, they did a real good job in the recruitment. You can see that straight away. I think in where we finish in the table and some of the results that we've had and the way we play and the tight knit group they've put together, a group of lads. I think they've done well in identifying good characters that will work well together and well within the club and well under their regime, and that's what it's all about. Football's all about chemistry. The good teams that I've been involved in have always had really good chemistry on and off the pitch, and I think they've done a great job in creating that environment and put that bunch of lads together, and I think that's why we've had the season that we've had.
Yeah, like you say, the season that we've had, and it's exciting to just think what it could be like next year as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's why as club captain, I'd love to see all the boys here next season. Because I do genuinely think, like I said, that if we just add one or two to this group, maybe 2 or 3 to this group, I think we've got a real chance because there's some really good players in here, and more importantly, really good characters that all get on well. So I think we've had that first season together. If next season we can stay together, we'll be even better equipped for it.
George, it's been one hell of a season. It's been a pleasure watching you as captain. Thanks for talking.
Cheers, fellas.